सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं 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 सर्वं ब्रह्ममयं
Namaste. Yeah, the audio is okay, clear?
Yes, sir. Namaste.
Yes.
Okay, we'll start. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parambaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vasudevasutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarvasamshayacchetaram Satchidananda Vigraham Sada Susmera Vadanam Balakrishnam Namamyaham Vidyaranyad Vaidyad Vyadheriva Bhavasya Hi Vinutyai Pathyanaswadyantam Panchadasi Prakaranani Bhakshyani. Om. Good morning and namaskaram to all. So we have been discussing Panchadasi, the first chapter, Pratyak Thatwa Viveka Prakaranam or Thatwa Viveka Prakaranam, where we have completed up to verse number 19. So, Vidyaranya Swami started with own experience, and first he explained about the consciousness, the eternal principle which is available to us during waking state and dream state as well as deep sleep state, which is unchanging, which is ever present. That consciousness principle, first he explained, it's called Bodham, Chaitanyam, and then he derived that, he explained that it is the same consciousness is existence, he established. And continuing, Vidyaranya Swami said that this Sat Chit is Ananda also. For that, Vidyaranya Swami said that we love anything, any object in this world that gives us happiness, Ananda, and he concluded that everyone loves the self the most because we love anything only because that is giving us Ananda. So we love the self the most because we love any objects, because that object gives me Ananda, right? So the most important object here is the self, because self is the one which is giving me Ananda. So the object, we love the object on conditional basis, whereas we love self unconditionally. This is what Vidyaranya Swami explained. And it is same in quoted in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. It is for the love of self, everything else becomes our love. So the ultimate love is towards self only, because the self must be giving us Ananda, or the nature of that self must be Ananda. Then the doubt comes, how come a jnani loves everyone? Because a jnani loves everyone or everything in this universe because the jnani does not see anything other than self. Jnani sees everything else as Atma only. Because of that reason, the jnani loves everyone equally, samadarshanam. Whereas ajnani believes that the wrong understanding that the self is contained within this body. Because of that limited understanding, the ajnani is selfish, whereas a jnani is not selfish. That is a difference between jnani and ajnani. And the rule is same. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. A jnani sees Atma everywhere and in everything. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hrideshe Arjuna tishtati. Because of that, adveshta sarvabhutanam maitrah karuna evaja. Narmamo nirahangaraha samadukha sughakshami. Sandushtas satatam yogi yatatma dhridadishchayaha Mai arpita mano buddhihi yo madbhaktas same priyaha. Bhagavan said in Bhagavad Gita, Adveshta sarvabhutanam, because sarvabhutanam, with every bhuta, everything here, no dvesham at all. How is it that possible? Because a jnani sees everything and everyone as Atma alone, no different from self. No different from self, everything is self only. Because of that reason, the jnani loves everyone. So after that, then the next question is, Vidyaranya Swami is asking the doubt, then how is it possible that sometimes we love self and sometimes we don't see this, we love the other objects? How is it possible when we know that self is the ultimate Ananda which gives, but how come we are attached to other objects? For that, Vidyaranya Swami explains that it is a possible in our life also. We see that a group of children who is chanting Veda mantras, our son is also chanting, but we are unable to hear the voice of the son because of the other voices. That is the pradibandham here, which is the ajnanam here. And then Swami explains that the prakriti, about prakriti, and this Prakriti is of three, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, and then explains about the Shuddha Sattva Pradhana Prakriti and Rajo Guna Pradhana Prakriti and Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti. Because of this Prakriti, the Brahman, Atma is now, he puts the word Brahman here. Brahman reflects in these Sattva Guna Pradhana Prakriti and Rajo Guna Pradhana Prakriti and also Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti. Then Vidyaranya Swami explains about this Avidya, which is reflecting, or the Rajoguna Pradhana Prakriti is called Avidya, right? Rajoguna Pradhana Prakriti is Avidya, and that Avidya is the Karana Shariram. Shariram means which is perishable. Shariram meaning itself is perishable. So the Karana Shariram, Avidya, or the ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of not knowing that the self is all pervading and my true nature is that which is all pervading. This ignorance is the Avidya, and that which reflects Brahman, when it reflects in this Rajoguna Pradhana Prakriti, is called Jiva. The same Brahman, when it reflects in the Sattva Guna Pradhana Prakriti, which is called Maya, and when the Brahman reflects in this Maya, is the Ishvara, and the Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti is the Jagat. So till then we had gone. So this is just to give you a recap of whatever we have been covering in the last 4 sessions. Now Vidyaranya Swami continues. So in the 18th verse, Tamah Pradhana Prakritehe Tad Bhogaya Ishwaraknyaya Viyat Pavana Tejombu Bhuvo Bhutani Jatnire Tad Bhogaya, for the enjoyment of the Praknyas. Who is Praknya? Praknya is that which identifies with the Karana Shariram. The Jiva who identifies with the Karana Shariram or the Avidya is called Praknya. For the enjoyment or the experiences of this Praknya, Tad Bhogaya, Tamah Pradhana Prakritehe. Okay, from the Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti, which we generally call as Prakriti, from that Prakriti, all the 5 big elements are born or created. Which are the 5 big elements? Viyat, Pavana, Tejo, Ambu, Bhuvaha. Space, air, fire, water, and Prithvi. Akasham, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithvi. So these 5 big elements are created from the Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti is created. And then in the 19th verse, Sattvamshehi Panjabihi Tesham Kramadhindriya Panchagam Shrotra Tvagakshi Rasana Granakya Mupajayate. So from the Sattvamsham of this Panchabhutaha. So the Akasha has got all the 3 gunas in it, right? Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, because this 5 big elements are created from the gunas only. So for that reason, whatever is created from a Karanam, so the same gunas will be there in Karyam also. Karana gunaha Karye anuvartande. Whatever is there in the Karanam will be there in the Karyam also. Similarly, all the gunas, the 3 gunas are there in the Prakriti, right? The Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti, all 3 gunas are there. Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti, remember, even though the Tamo Gunam is more Pradhanam, but other Sattva and Rajas is also there in that. From that Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti, the 5 big elements are created. Out of that 5 big elements, these 5 big elements also have got the Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas from the Sattvamsham of the Panchabhutas. Shrotra, Tvag, Akshi, Rasana, Grana. That Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandham. The 5 Indriyas that is which is we are able to hear, the hearing ability, the Shabda Sparsha, the touch ability, and that is Twag, then Akshi, the seeing, and the Rasanam, the taste, and the smell. So these 5 Indriyas are created from the Sattva Guna from the Sattvamsha, pure Sattvamsha of the 5 big elements. Akasham, from Akasham, the hearing, the Srotram is created, is born, and next is from the Vayu, the touch, from the Akshi, from the fire, the seeing, okay, and the 4th one from the water, the taste, and the 5th one, the Prithvi, the smell. Okay, all these 5 Indriyas, the 5 Indriyas are born out of these 5 big elements. So in every one of us, the 5 elements, Sattvamsham is what is the Jnanendriyas. So the Jnanendriyas are pure Sattvamsham of the 5 big elements. So that means the 5 elements are there in us. In Sattvamsham is the 5 sense organs. Okay, so that is clear. Now we are moving to the 20th verse. Now 20th. Tairandah karanam sarvair vritti bhedena tadvidha mano vimarsha rupam syat buddhisya nischayatmika. Taihi andah karanam sarvaihi vritti bhedena tadvidha. Sarvaihi taihi. Sarvaihi taihi. From the Sattvamsham of all that, okay, Andahkaranam upajayate. The Andahkarana means inner organ is born or is formed. Andahkaranam. Andahkaranam is the inner organ or internal organ. Then what is that internal organ does? The internal organ has got 2 functions. Okay, the internal organ Andahkaranam has 2 functions. Same organ only, but it has 2 functions. What are the 2 functions? Tat dvidha. 2. One is Vimarsha Rupam Sat Manaha Syat. Vimarsha Rupa means one who is able to analyze. So the analyzing power. Okay, the analyzing. There is Sankalpa Vikalpam. What is it? The mind. It is called Manaha. What is the mind? Mind is the Sankalpa Vikalpam. That is, whether I have to do this or that. Whether I should go and buy from this shop or the other shop. Whether I should attend the class or not attend the class. Whether I should travel by bus or car. Like that. We have this Vimarshanam is there. We analyze it. The analysis that is done by the thinking faculty, whether to do this or whether to do that, whether I should go here, whether I didn't go there, right? All these Sankalpa Vikalpam, mean whether to do this. That faculty is the mind. So the function of the Andahkaranam, one function is mind, Manaha, Vimarsha Rupam, thinking faculty or the doubting faculty. It is also called a doubting faculty. That is mind. The second function is Nischayatmika Sati Buddhihi Syad. Nischayatmika Buddhihi, the deciding factor. One which decides, okay, I will take this path, I will go here, okay, I will select this shop, or I will buy this watch, or I will do this, I will not do this, etc. based on whatever the data has been fed in before. Based on all the data processed, and then comes to a conclusion that I will do this. That deciding faculty of the same organ Andahkaranam is called Buddhi. So Andahkaranam has got 2 functions. One is the mind. Okay, so suppose you are browsing in Amazon. Okay, you open the Amazon and then you are just browsing this. So you are just seeing this, whether I should book this hotel or I should book that hotel, or I should travel by this, etc. This you are browsing. That is the mind faculty. And then you come to a decision. No, this I will book in this hotel only, or I will travel by this flight. The deciding This decides. And that deciding faculty, it is the same Antahkaranam, same organ with two functions. The second function is Buddhi, which decides, I will do this. Right? So these are the two faculties of the same organ, Antahkaranam. And this Antahkaranam is Sattva Guna only. Okay? Tair Antahkaranam Sarvaihi. Sarvaihi Taihi. From the Sattvaamsham of all the five elements. Okay? See, the five sense organs are individual, where the Sattvaamsham of each element is used or is born as that. The Sattvaamsham of Akasha is born as Shabdam. Whereas this Antahkaranam is the Sattvaamsham of all five elements put together. That is why Vidyaranya Swami says, Sarvaihi Taihi. From the Sattvaamsham of all that five, Antahkaranam Upajayade. The Antahkaranam is formed. So what is Antahkaranam? The mind and the Buddhi. Antahkaranam is got two functions. Same instrument, two functions. Okay, that's all. So like how an individual behaves like, one time he is a husband at home and at the same time father to his son, right? Multifunctions. So same individual having two functions. Similarly, the Antahkaranam has got two functions. One is Manaha, the other is Buddhihi. Okay. Now we'll move to the 21st verse. And also this faculty, the inner organ, has to manage the sense organs also. The sense organs are controlled by the mind. Okay? They are controlled or managed by the inner organ. So, Indriyebhyah param manaha. So, the mind is controlling the sense organs. That we should not forget. And that is, so it has to be made of Sattvaamsham only. Okay? That is also one point. 21st verse. Rajom Shaif Panjabhistesham Kramat Karmendriyani tu Vak Pani Pada Payu Pasthabhidhani Jatnire Tesham Panjabhi. See, now the five elements, Sattvaamsham is formed as five sense organs. Now Rajamsham also is there. From the Sattva Guna Pradhana Prakriti, from the Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti, which is called Prakriti, from the Tamo Guna Pradhana Prakriti, the Rajamsham of that Prakriti is formed as the Karmendriyas. Okay, Jnanendriyas 5 explained, now Karmendriyas. What are the 5 Karmendriyas? Vak, speech, Pani, the hands, Padam, legs, Payu, the excretion organ, and Upastha, the reproductive organ. So these 5 Karmendriyas are Abhidhanani. Abhidhanani means it is named. They are named as 5 this, and Jatnire, they are born also. What are the 5? From Akasha, walk. It's the same Kramad. From Akasha, the speech. From the Vayu, the hands. Okay. From the fire, the legs. And from the water, the excretion organs. And from the Prithvi, the reproductive organ. So from the Rajogunam, okay, Rajogunam is Rajas. Rajas in the 5 elements is born as, okay, the Rajogunam of the Prakriti is born as the 5 Karmendriyas. Sattvagunam of the 5 are born as Jnanendriyas. Okay. So, Rajom Shaihi Panjabhistesham Kramad. Kramad means respectively Karmendriyani Vakpani Padapayu Upastha Abhidhanani Jatnire. So, they are born from the 5 elements. So, the Karmendriyas are born from where? 5 elements. Jnanendriyas are born from where? From the 5 elements. The mind and the buddhi is born out of what? Born out of 5 elements only. Okay, so that much is clear now. So from this we will move to the 22nd verse. Taihi sarvaihi sahitaihi pranaha vritti bhedat sapanjadha. Tai sarvai sahidai pranaha vritti bhedat sapanjadha. Pranopanas samanascha udana vyanau cha te punaha. One more time I will read. Taihi, very simple Sanskrit. Tai sarvai sahidai pranaha vritti bhedat sapanjadha. Pranopanas samanascha udana vyanau cha te punaha. Taihi. Taihi. From the Sukshma Bhuta Rajasic Kamsham of all. Okay. So, it's very simple. From the Rajogunam of the 5 elements together. Same like how we saw from the Sattva Gunamsham together, the Andhakaranam is born or formed. Similarly, all the Rajogunam of the 5 elements together, what is formed here? Sarvaihi Sahitaihi. From the Rajogunam of all the 5 elements, Pranaha is born. Pranaha is created. That is the Pranamaya Kosham. Why I am saying Pranamaya Kosham and all? They are the coverings, which is the method in Taittiriya Upanishad. The same is here. Pranaha is created or is born. Then the same Prana, how the same Andhakaranam, we said that it has got 2 functions, mind and buddhi. Similarly, the Pranaha has got 5 functions. Vritti bhedad. Here vritti means functions. Okay. Here vritti means functions. There is in Vedanta vritti means another meaning is thought. Okay. Here it is not that. That is not the meaning. Here vritti means by functions. Pravritti. So what are the 5 functions? Pranaha, apanaha, samanaha, udanaha, vyanaha. These are the 5 functions. What are the 5 functions? Pranaha. Prana means that the life force. It is the life force. Life. Right? Life force, energy. Prana means energy. Understand that prana means energy. Very simple. The energy that we have in us is prana. So the life is pranaha. Then apanaha. It is the excretion energy. Anything that is removed from the body is done by that energy. That energy is called apanaha. Okay. Anything moving out, excretion through the anus and other organs, which is going outside, unwanted things which is being removed from the body, is done by that energy, is called apanaha. Okay. So that is apanaha. Then samanaha. Samanaha is the digestion, the digestive energy. Okay. The digestion is an action. We eat our food, not only humans, everything that is eating food is digested. Right? It is digestion. So for digestion an energy is required. It is the same pranaha which is explained in the first, that pranas, the function is, when the function is digestion, it is called samanaha. So digestive action energy is samanaha. Then vyanaha. What is vyanaha? Vyanaha is the circulating energy. See, every cell in our body is throbbing with energy. Is it not? See, suppose you have a cut here, it gets healed here. So that means energy is required. Or the movement of our muscles, let it be hands, legs, okay, eyes or the ears, whichever part, every cell in our body is moving with vibration. Is always there is energy there. So there is a circulation that is happening. We call it through the blood, right? The glycogen is being pumped or is being carried through our blood, hemoglobin, etc. Right? You know, those who know that, they will know better. So this circulation, continuously the energy is circulated and made available at every cell in our body, that energy is called Vyanaha, circulation energy. And the last one, Pranaha, I explained, it is the life energy, life force. Apanaha is the excretion. Samanaha is the digestive. The fourth one is Vyanaha, circulation. And the fifth one is called Udanaha, reverse energy. What is reverse energy? Reverse energy is anything that is not adaptable to the system. Say for example, we consume some food which is not good to our body. Immediately we throw, right? We vomit it. Say it's okay, food poisoning, etc. Somehow, or we will have loose motion, sudden loose motion happens, or sudden vomiting happens. All of this is done by that energy. It is called reverse energy, Udanaha. Another example is, suppose somehow a strand of hair or something has gone inside your mouth, right? So somehow we will put our tongue and then somehow we will take it out. That energy is Udanaha. It cannot, it can't withstand any object that is not compatible with the body will throw it up, which is right. So that is why, even people who consume alcohol and all, right, they throw it. After some time, the body cannot adapt. They throw, they vomit, etc. So this is a reverse process. And also in the last, right, when the body is incapable of handling any more work here, any more karma, everything is over in this. So what will do? All the unfulfilled desires, everything is put as a bijam or in like a seed and is all bundled up, and this is being carried to the next life by the Udana. So the last function of this prana, which takes out this life from this body, is done by Udana. Okay, so what are the various functions? Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. So prana is life force, Apana is excretion energy, Samana is the digestion, Vyana is the circulation, and Udana is the reversing energy. So these are the 5 functions of the same prana, which is of the Rajasic quality, Rajasic guna of the 5 elements together. I hope it is clear. So Sattva guna of the individual elements are the 5 sense organs. Sattva guna of all together is the mind, or mind and buddhi, or it's called Andhakaranam. And the 5 elements, Rajogunam of the 5 elements are the Karmendriyas. Okay, and the Rajogunam of the 5 sense organs together is the prana. So 5 sense organs, 5 Karmendriyas, motor organs, 5 pranas. How many now? 15. 16 is mind, Andhakaranam, one part, and the same Andhakaranam when it functions as buddhi, 17. These 17 put together is called Sukshma Shariram, subtle body. So Karana Shariram is Avidya, which is the Rajoguna Pradhana Prakriti, and the Sattva guna of the 5, or I will not explain again, the 5 sense organs, 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 pranas, buddhi, mind, 17 parts together is called the Sukshma Shariram. Okay, this is the Sukshma Shariram. So Sukshma Shariram is explained, Karana Shariram is explained. Now we'll move to the 23rd verse. Let us see what Vidyaranya Swami says. Buddhi karmendriya prana panchakai manasadhiya shariram sapta dashabhihi sukshmam tallingamuchyate. So buddhi, karmendriya, prana panchakaihi. So he put very nicely once half of that he put there only buddhi, karmendriya, prana panchakaihi. 5 each, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, 5 pranas. Then manasa dhiya, mind and buddhi, sapta dashabihi, 17 together is called tat shariram. That body is called what? Sukshma lingam uchyate. Sukshma shariram, or also called linga shariram. We know what is linga means what? Symbol. Lingam Lingam means it is a symbol. For example, Salagrama. The Salagrama, we see the original Mahavishnu in a Salagrama, a piece of stone. So this piece of stone, Salagrama, is the lingam of Mahavishnu. Similarly, the Shiva lingam, the lingam, what we call as Shiva linga, in a stone we see Sakshat Parameshwara or Lord Shiva we see in Shiva lingam. So this Shiva lingam is the symbol which reflects the original. Okay, so anything where it reflects the original, it is not the original, but it is reflected in that vastu, in that object, that is called lingam. Now here the consciousness Brahman is reflected in avidya. Okay, so when it reflects in avidya, or when it reflects in the sukshma shariram, right, that is the jiva. So the jiva is the reflection which gets reflected in the sukshma shariram, because if only Brahman can get reflected in the mind. So the mind will know the Brahman. If there is no mind, Brahman will not be known. So for that reason, that which reflects the Brahman is called Sukshma Shariram. Okay, so it is the, just you put mind, Andhakaranam we put, okay, as a common name, we put that which reflects the original consciousness, right? That is the reason why it is called Linga Shariram, Lingam, because it shows, it reflects the original as Jiva. So Jiva is the reflected consciousness, and that Jiva, where it is reflecting in the Sukshma Shariram. Hence the Sukshma Shariram, the subtle body which consists of 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Pranas, mind, Buddhi, with 17 factors put together. Hence it is called Linga Shariram. Okay, that is why it is called Linga Shariram, but for all practical purposes we will use it as, we will take as Sukshma Shariram. So subtle body is the Sukshma Shariram. So from where the subtle body is formed, because of the Karana Shariram, because of the Avidya, right, because of not knowing my true nature as Brahman, a Sukshma Shariram is born. A Sukshma Shariram is created out of the 5 subtle properties, subtle gunas, sattva guna, subtle, rajo guna also is subtle. So from subtle only subtle shariram can be formed. So that is the Sukshma Shariram. That is what Vidyaranya Swami explained here beautifully. Buddhi karmendriya prana panchagaihi manassadhiya shariram saptadashabihi sukshmam tal lingam uchyate. So how a Sukshma Shariram is born in us is clearly explained. Then there could be a doubt. What is the doubt? Let us see. Prajnastatrabhimanena, 24th verse. Prajnastatrabhimanena taijasatvam prapadyate hiranyagarbhatamishaha tayor vyashti samashtita. Prajnaha tatra. Who is Prajna? We explained earlier. Who is Prajna? That jiva which identifies with the Karana Shariram. That jiva which identifies with the Karana Shariram or Avidya, don't forget, Avidya is Karana Sharira, which identifies with the Karana Shariram is called Prajna. Okay? He is called Prajna. Prajnaha tatra, there Prajnaha abhimanena taijasam prapadyate. So the same Prajna which identifies with the Karana Shariram, when it identifies with the Sukshma Shariram, is called Taijasaha. So the name, these names are not important. Just listen, that's all. You understand this point. Main thing is the Jiva, when it identifies with the Karana Shariram is called Prajna. When it identifies with the subtle body or this Sukshma Shariram is called Taijasaha. He is the Taijasaha. So Prajna became Taijasaha. Then it identifies with the Sukshma Shariram. Because one who says that I am this, the Sukshma Shariram, he or she is called Taijasaha. That Jiva is called Taijasaha. When it identifies with the Karana Shariram, the Avidya is called Prajnaha. So Abhimanena Taijasam Prapadyate. The Prajnaha turns into Taijasaha. Ishaha Hiranyagarbhatam. So Ishvara, who is Ishvara? Ishvara is that Brahman, same Brahman, which when reflects in the Sattva Guna Pradhana Prakriti Maya is Ishvaraha. So the same Ishvara, when it is reflected in the or identifies with the Sattva Guna Pradhana Prakriti Maya is Ishvaraha. When that reflects in the Samashti, okay, in the Sukshma Shariram of all is called Hiranyagarbha. You must have heard Hiranyagarbha many times, Hiranyagarbha. Many Suktams, Stotrams and all it is. Many Vedas it will come, Hiranyagarbha. So who is Hiranyagarbha? Hiranyagarbha is Ishvara only. Ishvara is that which in totality, okay, all in other words, one who identifies with the whole, one who identifies with the limited body, this body is Prajnaha. In the same Brahman, when it identifies as the whole, is called Ishvaraha. And the same Ishvaraha, when it identifies with the Sukshma Sharirams of all, okay, that is, I am the whole Sukshma Sharira, or the mind of you, me, and all the birds, and the trees, plants, and the celestials, and anything that you can imagine in this universe, all the minds put together, all the Sukshma Sharirams put together, that which identifies with that whole lot of Sukshma Shariram, or a cluster of all the Sukshma Sharirams, is called Hiranyagarbha. Similarly, that Karana Shariram, one who identifies with the whole Maya or the totality is Ishvaraha, or in Puranic terms, Mahavishnu. So, Prajna is the individual, one who identifies with the Avidya is called Prajna. One who identifies with Maya is Mahavishnu, Ishvaraha. Okay, that is Mahavishnu. In Puranic term, Mahavishnu is that. Okay, Karana Shariram. In one who reflects in the Karana Shariram of the whole. Okay, that is Sattva Guna Pradhana Prakriti Maya is Mahavishnu. And the same Mahavishnu becomes Hiranyagarbha when the Brahman is reflected or Brahman is identified as the whole Sukshma Shariram of the universe. Okay, so Hiranyagarbha is same as Ishvara only. Like how Praknya is Taijasaha, Hiranyagarbha also is, Ishvara is Hiranyagarbha. So Prakyas Tatra Abhimamnena Taijasatvam Prapadyade Hiranyagarbhas Tadam Hiranyagarbhatam Ishaha Tayor Vyashti Samashtita. What is Vyashti? Vyashti means individual and Samashti means total. So one who identifies as total is Samashti. One who identifies with individual is Vyashti. So the capital I is Samashti. Capital I, capital I, which is straight, right? Which is straight. Whereas the small I is crooked. Like this, it will go here like that. It is the small I is identified with the small body, right? Small mind, okay, me and mine, right? This is the Praknyaha, Taijasaha, etc. Whereas when one who identifies as I, the whole I am, everything is Ishvaraha, Hiranyagarbha. So that is Samashti. So the total is called Samashti, individual is called Vyashti. So Vyashti, Samashti. So there are so many terms, don't worry, you just write it down once, you keep on listening, keep on hearing the same terms again and again in our class, it will be very clear. One Swami said, it is like who is your Chittappa, who is your Periyappa, or your Atte, aunt and aunt. You don't have to remember everything. You know just by heart. Similarly, you will know all these. It's all our family only. All these Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara, Taijasaha, Prakyaha, same family. So it will not be very difficult for you to understand. So you keep on listening, you will know it. Okay. Yeah. Now we'll move to the 25th verse. Samashti Rishas Sarvesham Swatma Tadatmya Vedanad Sadabhavat Tato Nyetu Kathyante Vyashti Samjnaya. Okay, if at all we have any doubt, Vidyaranya Swami wants to clear that also. Samashti Rishas Sarvesham Swatma Tadatmya Vedanad Tadabhavat Tato Nyetu Kathyante Vyashti Samjnaya. Sarvesham Swatma Tadatmya Vedanad. Because of his sense of identification with all the subtle bodies, all the Sukshma Shariram, that Sarvesham Swatma Tadatmya Vedanat, because of his identification or his sense of identification with the Sukshma Shariram of every being here, Ishaha Samashtihi. That Ishaha, Bhagavan or Ishvaraha or Hiranyagarbha is called Samashtihi, totality or total. Anyetu, the others, like the jivas, we are all, okay. Anyetu, the others, or the Taijasas and Praknyas, etc. The Praknyas and Taijasas are the others. Tadabhavat. What tadabhavat means what? Lack of the knowledge. What knowledge? Lack of this sarvabhimanam. Lack of this I am the whole. This understanding is not there. Right? The jivas always think I am different, that is different, this is different. But we saw what is the process? From the same Brahman, when it reflects as a whole, is Ishvara. When the same Brahman, when it reflects in identification of a small body, is Jivaha. Right? So this wrong identification makes the jiva. Whereas the correct identification with the whole is Ishvaraha. So that is what Vidyaranya Swami says, Tad abhavat. What is the abhavam here? What is the lacking here? The lacking of the wrong understanding, or the lack of understanding that I am the whole. That understanding is not there. Because of that tad abhavat, vyashti samjnaya kathyante is called individual or vyashti. So, who is vyashti sukshma sharira abhimani? Jivaha, taijasaha. Sukshma sharira abhimani is taijasaha. Right? Samashti sukshma sharira abhimani is Hiranyagarbha. So, what is the problem here? The problem is identification with the small one Sukshma Shariram is the problem, is the cause of this samsara klesham or samsara dukkham. For that reason only in Malayalam there is a beautiful verse, Harinama Kirtanam. In that Harinama Kirtanam there is a fantastic verse, Ananda Chinmaya Hare Gopika Ramana Jnanenna Bhavamad Tonaika Venamiha Tonum Nada Kilakhilam Jnanidenna Vadi Tonena Me Varada Narayanaya Namaha. It's a prayer to Bhagavan. What is the prayer? Hey Ananda Chinmaya Hare, Hey Ananda Chinmaya, Hey Satchidananda, Hey Gopika Ramana, Jnanenna Bhavam Adu Tonaika Venam. This small I, right? The ego. I am that individual trapped in this body. That individual self, that conditional self, limited self, that I, Tonaika Venam, means I should never think that I am this small I. Right? Then what I should think? I should remember that I am that Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi, which is the Upanishad says, you are that Brahman, Tattvamasi. That should remain in my thoughts at all times. In case I have to remember or I have to identify with something, then Tonunnadagil. If at all you have to identify, Tonunnadagil Aghilam Jnanidenna Vadi. I should identify with the whole, with the totality. I should identify with all the Karana Shariram, all the Sukshma Shariram is me only. I am the whole. So, Tonundadagil Akhilam Jnanidenna Vadi. In that case, it is okay. So, either I should not identify with anything, I should identify, there is no identification with any object here, that Brahman alone exists here. Only Bhagavan is here. If at all I have to identify with something, let me identify as the whole, Ishvara. So what is the process here? From the limited understanding of Jiva to the transformation to be Ishvara is the process. Right? Through Vedanta, the limited identification, or I am this small limited thing where I am born, I am struggling, and one day I will die. This is the wrong understanding, right? Whereas I identify myself with the Brahman. I am never born. I will never die, right? That is the real identification. So from the level of Jiva to the level of Ishvara is the process. That is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads, all these Prakarana Granthas. So this, who have to work for it? The Jiva. The Jiva has to work for it. That is why Bhagavan said, Uddhared Atman Atmanam, Na Atmanam Avasadayed, Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhuhu, Atmaiva Ripuratmanaha. So this is how we have to lift ourselves. Individually we have to lift ourselves from the level of Jiva to the level of Ishvara. That is the transformation that is happening, that should happen in the mind. Okay, so let us move to the 26th verse. Tad bhogaya punarbhogya bhogayatana janmane panchīkaroti bhagavan pratyekam vyadadikam. So the jivas, what is the problem with the jivas? Jivas have got lot of desires. Plenty of desires carried forward from previous so many janmas. To fulfill this desires, a body is required. With the Sukshma Shariram, so from the Karana Shariram is all that bundled up in the form of a bijam, in the form of a seed. From that avidya, not knowing my true nature, I had accumulated so many karmas. Accumulated so many karmas means so much of desires. Unfulfilled desires are there. Bundles and sacks of bundled desires are there. From that desires, a Sukshma Shariram is created because of the Rajoguna, Pradhana, Prakriti, etc. we explained, right? From all that, the five Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas are there, because I have to experience this, that and all, and I have to do certain actions. Karmendriyas are there, right? And the mind is there. This I have to go here, I have to go there. No, don't go here. Buddhi also is there. So this Sukshma Shariram is created out of the ignorance that I am the full. Now, say I am giving you a full picture. So from the notion that not knowing that I am the full, from the ignorance that I am this limited thing, I accumulated a lot of unfulfilled desires, bundled up. These desires are sprouted as Sukshma Shariram to experience, to enjoy things, and to do karma, and to do this vimarshanam, okay, that sankalpa vikalpam, and also to decide this, I will do this, I will do that, etc. We need a body. Body is required. Without body, a karma cannot be carried out. And bhogam also is not possible. Experience also is not possible. To experience, we have to do karma. Karma is also not possible. So, for any bhogam or any sort of enjoyment or experience, a body must be there. Tad bhogaya. Punaha tad bhogaya. Afterwards, after the Sukshma Shariram is born or created, for the enjoyment of these jivas are always have desires, unfulfilled desires. Okay, enjoyment of the jivas, bhogaya tana janmane. We need two things. One is to experience, a body is required, and bhoga vastu is also required. Objects are also necessary. Otherwise, with this body, what we will do? To enjoy, need another object is required. Right? So, bhogaya tana janmane. For the bhogya vastu and bhoga shariram both. Bhogya vastus are also required. Bhoga shariram also required. Bhagavan, Ishvaraha. That Bhagavan vyadadikam. Mean from the five elements. Vyadadi means from the space, air, fire, water, prithvi. From the five elements, panchīkaroti, did grossification. Panchīkaranam, grossification. So, what Bhagavan did? Bhagavan has got all the Kalyana, Guna, Aishwarya, Siddhi is there. Bhagavan has got all the power. Bhagavan has got all the material, everything is there. So, Bhagavan, what are material? The five elements are there. So, to create a sthula vastu, we need sthula. So, to make something sthulam, we need sthula elements. Right? Gross elements are required to make a gross. Right? To make an upma, we need rava, we need water, we need so many ingredients to put in upma. Right? So for like that, and then we have to stir it, then the upma comes out. So we need, from sukshma we cannot make a sthula. From subtle elements we cannot make a gross element. So we need sthula elements or gross elements to make gross product. That is called, that process is called panchikaranam, or is called grossification. So why, again, why do we need we need a bhogya prapancham, right? Already told. So how to do panchikaranam, we will explain in the next class only. How the grossification process we will do in the next class. So here what important thing is, bhogam is not possible without a sthula shariram, because there is a lot of karmas are there. So to karma phalam, Bhagavan has to give the karma phalam also, no? Because some karmas are done, so that fructification of that karma is required. To give phalam, the individual has to go through sukham or dukham, whatever, sukham or dukham, doesn't matter. The phalam has to be given to the jivas. So to enjoy that, to experience that body is necessary. So for that body, sthulam body is required, gross body is required. For that gross body means karana shariram also is a body only, sukshma shariram is also body only. What we are talking about is the gross body, okay, like this hard thing. So that body is called panchikaranam. Through the process of panchikaranam, grossification, gross elements are required. How Bhagavan created that gross element, we will explain in the next session. Suspense. Okay. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Harihi Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu.